What's good? Welcome back to Purge Productions, or just welcome to Purge Productions. If you're just joining me, I'm Purge, and this is my channel where I talk about things that I'm passionate about, like animation and TV, and also for me to share some of my own content, like my music and stuff like that. But just so I don't have to go through this whole spiel again, check out my first video. I'm going to link it in the description so that you can get a sense of what this channel is going to be like. In that video, I said that I was working on some scripted, edited videos, and I'm still trying to work a few things out with them. So in the meantime, I'm going to share some of these unscripted videos, which is basically me speaking off the top of my head about whatever. And in this video, I'm going to talk about a feature that's on most streaming services, and that is the skip intro button, which is when the intro or theme song or opening credits, whatever it's called, whatever you want to call it, starts playing. You have the option to either watch through it or just skip it. Here's what I like about it. First of all, if I don't like the intro, I don't gotta watch it. I can just skip right through it. Easy. Secondly, let's say I'm in a hurry. Like, I have to leave as soon as I finish this episode. Or let's just say the intro is super long. Skipping the intro helps shorten the amount of time that you're watching the episode. It really helps a lot with timing. It also takes out a lot of the guesswork in figuring out when the intro ends. Clicking the button just does it for you. And the third thing that I like about it, by the way, if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. I don't want to forget one of the points that I'm making. But the third thing I like about it is if I'm binging a show, even if I like the intro, if I'm watching 5-10 episodes at a time, that's 5-10 times I have to hear the intro, and it can get annoying after a while. So when I get to that point where I get sick of hearing the intro, I can skip it. So yeah, on principle, I do like the skip intro button. I think it has a good purpose for it being there. My problem with it is how these services go about doing it. First of all, the button pops up in the corner of your screen as soon as the intro starts playing, and it takes up a portion of the screen. A small portion, but a portion. And it lingers there. Like it's waiting for you to press the button until it finally disappears. What this does is, not only does it expect you to skip the intro, but it also, in a way, kind of encourages it. And I don't think a streaming service should be encouraging skipping a portion of a piece of media. Like, the intro is a part of it. Like, people work hard on these intros. They try to make them catchy and creative and help you get into the mood on starting the show. There is art to these intros. Good example, one of my favorite shows ever, BoJack Horseman. The intro changes as the show changes. Whenever a character moves into BoJack's house, they appear in the living room portion of the intro, and when they move out, they get taken out of the intro. In the first 6 episodes, you can see the D on the Hollywood sign, and then in episode 6, when BoJack steals the D is removed from the intro for the rest of the show. And in season 4, there's a plot point that is hidden in the intro. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's one of those small little details that's nice that they actually try to incorporate into the intro and try to sneak it in there. I thought that was really clever. And those are the kinds of things that you miss when you just skip the intro. And another example, The Simpsons. Each episode has a different variation on the intro sequence. You have the chalkboard gag, you have Lisa's solo, and most famously, the couch gag, which is whatever craziness the writers come up with while the Simpsons are sitting on the couch. And it's that kind of creativity that you don't want to miss by skipping the intro. And The Simpsons isn't the only show that does this. I know Bob's Burgers does this. The Fairly Odd Parents does it at the end when they transform Vicky's head. Like, yeah, you don't want to miss it. You want to see what they do with the intro this time. And the thing about all this is that it's not like there's an option for you to watch the intro. Like, it's not a skip intro button and a watch intro button. It's just the skip intro button. And if you want to watch the intro button, if you want to watch the intro, you just have to ignore the skip intro button. And it's just like, they're encouraging you to skip it. Like they make you feel like some kind of weirdo because you want to watch it. Excuse me for liking all parts of a piece of media. When you compare it to the skip ad button on YouTube, the difference is that the ad is not a part of the video. I don't watch the video to watch the ad. The ad is just whatever. So I skip right through it. The intro is a part of the media. It is a part of the art. The people that work on the intro work on the show. The intro is part of the whole overall thing. So that's something that does deserve to be watched. But whatever. Honestly, those are really small issues I have. It's not that big a deal. The big issue is something that Netflix does. The other streaming services, not so much. But what Netflix does is, when the episode is done and they cut to the next episode, which is something else that I'd complain about, but honestly, no one wants to watch the end credits. But when they cut to the next episode, they skip the intro automatically. They don't even give you the option. They just do it. What? Ain't nobody told you to skip the intro. I noticed this when I was watching Code Lyoko, because I remember that it had a really good theme song. But then I realized that I never really get to hear the intro, because they were always skipping it. And this is annoying because I really do like theme songs. Along with Code Lyoko, some of my favorites include 16, Teen Titans, but my all-time favorite theme is Danny Phantom. So yeah, sometimes intros can just be fun to watch. They get me excited to watch the show. They hype me up for it. And that goes along with what I said earlier about intros setting the tone. Not only that, but intros inform you on what you're about to watch. They tell you about the show. For example, my favorite cartoon ever, Avatar. They tell you what happened prior to the start of the show, and they tell you what's going on during the show. Admittedly, this is an intro that I skip sometimes because, you know, first of all, I've seen the show 100 times. I already know what it's about. But it's not the most fun. It's not really supposed to be. I mean, it's a monologue about genocide, but yeah, sometimes I can just skip through it. But I still love it. It does a really good job of setting the tone, what I'm trying to say. And creators, like, painstakingly are able to work the end of the intro into the beginning of the episode. But Netflix, the way it does this automatic skipping of the intro, it basically just, like, it creates an awkward start, because they don't necessarily start the episode right at the beginning, but they kind of do it like 5 seconds in, just so that you're getting no part of the intro. And it's just like, that's not really how you're supposed to watch the show. You're supposed to watch it from start to finish, not 5 seconds in to finish. And the last thing that's annoying about all this is that when it comes to shows like Avatar and Total Drama, shows that have ongoing narratives, not only does it skip the intro, but it also skips the recap. And the recap is important because you need to be following along with these shows in order to understand them. In Avatar's recaps, book 3 can bring back something that happened in book 1, and the thing from book 1 will show up in the recap of that book 3 episode. And it's important that they do that because these are things that people tend to forget. Like, it wasn't important then, and it hasn't been important for 3 seasons, and now all of a sudden it is. So you need to be watching the recap in order to understand. Or just pay attention, like, really well, you know. So there's 2 things I've noticed about this. First of all, it doesn't apply to any Netflix originals, because Netflix has to get their logo at the beginning of the show, and they can't do that if they skip the intro, whatever. And the other thing I noticed is that it doesn't apply to shows that have cold opens, which is good, because imagine skipping an entire scene on top of the intro. If you'll notice, this mostly applies to animated shows. Now, I know I'm going to get a bunch of people saying, "Oh, Jared, if you want to watch the intro so bad, just go back and do it. It's not that big a deal." First of all, shut the up. And secondly, yeah, I could do that. It really isn't that big a deal. It's pretty easy, in fact. But to that, I say, I shouldn't have to. They shouldn't just be skipping the intro. They should start the intro at the start and give me the option to skip it. Other services don't do this. Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max, they understand this. They give me the option every time. But Netflix just does it for me, and I don't want them to do that. If you order food at a restaurant and you get home and realize they gave you the wrong food, you could go back to the restaurant and tell them that they did that and they could fix their mistake and you get your food all's well. But you're still mad because you shouldn't have had to do that. They should have gotten it right the first time. And that's how I feel when they skip the intro. You should not have done that. Now, I know other people are going to say, well, I don't like the intro anyway, so I don't mind that they do it for me. Fine. Like I always said, like, yeah, if you don't like the intro, you don't got to watch it. It's whatever. But I think that no matter what, I should always be given the option. Don't just do it for me. Is it the biggest issue in the world? No. It really isn't. But it still just kind of bugs me, you know? I see intros and theme songs as art, and I think they should be respected as such. Whether you want to watch the intro or skip the intro, I feel like you should always have the option to do so. But yeah, that's how I feel about the skip intro button. Let me know how you feel about the skip intro button. Tell me some of your favorite intros, and yeah, I'll catch you.